Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today on the eve of the Brazilian elections, I am not going to be talking about the Brazilian elections. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about James Charles, and in general I find it very revolting that everyone seems to have moved on, and pretty much you have the people who have judged him, and the people who decided to move on and pretend like different drama channels that everything is okay. Let's do videos on James Charles drama. Let's just forget that everything happens. And like, I understand that I still watch the drama channels, but I don't click on the James Charles drama because I just don't want to support an abuser, a pedophile, and someone who frankly should be in jail. And I find it sort of like a double standard because obviously abused men, or boys in this case, aren't taken as seriously as a woman would be taken, or girls for this matter, and it's really revolting. And obviously James Charles is trying to weasel back in, from what I've seen, like by trying to recruit new people into his team, by doing more TikToks, by trying culinary and other different endeavors and etc. And like, for instance, like I was even like browsing through my Instagram, and I actually, like, I even tried to reach out to like Rich Lux ages ago, that I saw that Douglas was pretty much using James Charles' face to sell like the Morphe palettes, which got recalled or not sold in the US but were getting sold in Lithuania. Or like right now James Charles is sort of like showing as the face of a Morphe giveaway in Portugal, again in Douglas, which I find really revolting. And in general, sort of people just stick to this idea that he is a very influential sort of beauty guru or whatever. And I guess we have to address the fact that the beauty community has been very stale. And it's been stale not just because of the lack of talents, but I feel like no one really wants to give in, no one really promotes anyone, no one really tries to show new talents. Everything is sort of done to advertise sort of like things we already know. And like, if you look at contests like Mitchell's contest, Kimchi's contest, everyone sort of has the same sort of like James Charles butterflies, whatever, hearts. It's sort of the same thing. And I was actually thinking about this the other night, and I was like, I like makeup which is not like too polished and too pretty, but at the same time I understand that very often I do sort of like polished looks. And to me, for instance, this is a polished look, even though you might think like, I don't know, the brows are bleached like out of proportions and etc. But I do have looks where I just like slap everything on the face and it will look more editorial rather than polished. And so we have kind of this staleness in the beauty industry. And so I guess that's why like people sort of gravitate towards older beauty gurus like James Charles, because that's sort of where we left off. But at the same time, I don't think it is a reason to give an abuser a new platform. And I just really don't know what else to add in a way, because what else is there to say? Everything has been said and told and done. People really sort of reached out. People raised awareness about James, but at the end of the day, it feels like it really doesn't matter as long as you have the influence and money. Or like, for instance, the Travis Scott thing, Astroworld, with the fact that people got trampled, injured, killed, and no one cares. He's in photos with Kylie Jenner, talking about whose plane are they gonna take now. And in general, like, even like in my university, people were talking about how we need to save our planet, we need to do our part, and I'm just there thinking like, well, Kylie Jenner is gonna like ruin every fucking like thing we save just by flying that jet or Travis's Scott jets, you know? And I feel like we really should be holding the rich accountable, and I'm not saying this just because I'm a fucking commie, but we should really be holding people accountable regardless of what their status is. And right now we just have this era of celebrity where we feel like if we suck a celebrity's ass, like that will somehow make us more rich or more successful in a way. So people think that instead of putting them bad celebrities down, we need to appreciate them even more. And somehow fortune will come to us. Well, they're not like a statue which you can rub the hand off and you'll get good luck. You know? So it's really weird. And in general, like, today's culture feels very off. And obviously, I understand that certain things, like, are already so ingrained into us that we don't even care. And maybe that's what's happening with James, because a lot of people simply don't care, and we're getting so immune to many things that we only care about the things which we can relate to and emphasize. So in general, I feel like, especially like with the war and everything, it kind of showed humanity more cruel. Obviously, in the way that not many things are done, that many things are sort of like empathized, or there's not a lot of empathy, and people kind of tend to think about their own things. So yeah, in reality, I'm just really disappointed that people don't take abuse victims seriously. And then people say like, well, you should speak out more, or this is why victims don't get listened to. But just by listening to some victims and not listening to the others, that's what you end up doing. And in general, even if this video is a bit all over the place, I just wanted to say that I truly wish we could do something right. And I understand that I sort of struggle a lot with like, why is the world unfair? And I understand that I kind of sort of try to look like this should be happening instead of this, and that's not what's happening, you know? So we, obviously because of that, we stick to our bubble, because there's so much shit happening in our world that it's just insanely impossible to think of everything. But at the same time, something as simple as not giving James Charles views, I feel like it should be easy enough to do, but apparently it's fucking not. And that pisses me off. So yeah, things that are obvious to me are not obvious to others. And the same thing happens probably, I'm sure I do something that pisses off others. And yeah. Don't worry, I get enough hate in the comments. I know what I do which pisses off others. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry for it being a bit less structured than usual. What I want to say is I would really appreciate if everyone could at least keep an eye on the fact that obviously James Charles is trying to make a major comeback with his beauty line and whatever the fuck he's thinking of. He's obviously a predator, there's multiple videos on it, and he himself has apologized even though that video is now deleted. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comments, chat to me, and please subscribe. It helps me more than it helps you. Thank you.